Hi, hello, and good evening. We are here with a very special episode of Strat Chat. We have the one and only Jacob Hacker here from the Mole Netflix. Okay, we're not going to waste any time. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's just get into it. All right. I am Kyle Petty, and I am joined, as always, by my festy besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. And we are here with the one and only Jacob Hacker. This is Strat Chat. You can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. First off, thank you so much for joining us. We already had so much fun with you. I can't wait. I can't wait to get into things. So yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. It's quite an honor. I really enjoy connecting with everybody. It's fun.
Yeah. This is great. This is great. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Matt. Oh, yeah, Matt's our friend. He loves throwing some puns our way. He knows you're a firefighter. So fire trucks have left the station. He's full of them. He's full of them.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
As soon as I told him you were coming, he's like, here's some fun fire puns on me. What was the first one? I was like, this is going to be a fire podcast. And what was the other one? He burned through the competition.
Oh, it's heating up in here. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So ridiculous.
Oh, and that's as good as it gets tonight, folks. Here we are. Yay.
No, that is not as good as it gets. It's about to get wild.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah. I'm so excited. So yeah, thanks again.
Oh, absolutely.
So, we got a couple of questions,
Yeah.
Let's dive right in.
Yeah, let's dive. Hi, James. We don't know James. James is new. Might want to hose this podcast down with how hot it is.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Yes, just keep coming. Keep coming. We'll be here all night.
Hey.
All right, so let's look at our list of questions here. Let's look at, you know what? Before we even get to that, how was your experience on the mall? Like, are you an old time fan of this show? Did you watch it before? Like, how did you even get involved in this?
You want to know what's funny? I had never seen The Mole. I'd never even heard of it when I got cast for the show.
No way.
And yeah, absolutely. I wasn't, I haven't even watched a whole lot of reality TV since I was younger. I loved Survivor growing up, The Amazing Race, one that nobody really talks about anymore. Do you remember The Apprentice? I loved that show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was great TV. And I was asked about this show just randomly. Someone, I got a phone call one day. I was at home and they're like, hey, we've got an opportunity for you. We think you'd be perfect for this. Would you be interested? And it was the show. And I said, ooh. In my mind, I was like, absolutely. Let's get on a plane right now. But outside, I wanted to look kind of suspicious and, question it a little. I said, ooh, let's talk about this some more. And so I went through the application process, and sure enough, they selected me, and we went for the adventure of a lifetime.
Wow. So did you watch any of the old seasons before you got in this, or you just went in completely blind?
Right. Like once you found out you'd be on, did you go back thinking I better watch this show?
Right.
No, because they didn't tell us we were going to be on The Mole. See, not until we got there, until filming started. So they gave us the premise of the show being called The Insiders. Now, if you look deeply a little bit into the web, you can see that The Insiders was a thing for a while. And that's what they told all of us it was. Well, when we got there, the very first day of filming, they're like, you're actually not on a TV show called The Insiders. Do you have any idea what it is? And I said, I'm on The Bachelor. And they said, no, Jacob, it's not The Bachelor. And I said, oh, okay. They're like, well, it's called The Mole. And I'm like,
The who?
Cool.
So wait, did they give you information on what the show was, what you would be doing on the show, or you just went in totally cold thinking it was some random reality TV?
They gave us a little bit of information saying, it's a show about where you're competing with a team of people to put money into a prize pot. Someone's trying to stop you guys from doing it. And you play it as an elimination game, and whoever wins takes the pot. Well, yeah. Oh, the shithole mole. We'll get into that later too, my
Yeah, I was
friend.
gonna
We'll
say,
talk
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
We have to.
I had to just show it. It just cracked me up. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna get a flannel made. Joy and I are each gonna get a flannel, and it's gonna have the shithole mole across the back.
You have
I said
to.
there's like, hey, I was like, hey, don't talk to him like that.
But yeah, going back to what I was saying, they pretty much told us that we were in a competition series to put money in a pot and winner take all, and that was the premise of it. We're like, cool, sounds awesome, sign me up, let's go to Australia. And then we get there and they tell us, and we're like, oh no, crazy. I didn't know what it was. I'd never watched them all, but I learned really quickly what it was.
Right.
That's awesome, actually.
Just out of curiosity, then, if you had never heard of it, do you know, in talking with other cast members, had anybody else seen them all and gotten there and been like, oh, wait a minute, I remember this show? Like any conversations like that with some of the other cast members?
Casey and Pranav, both of them, of course, two of the smartest people there. They figured it out, surprisingly. And they both pretty much had determined, I think, once they got the storyline of what the show was about, I think that they kind of figured it out. And they both had watched it previously. I don't know if it was on TV or to study up. I'm not sure. But they both had seen it.
Interesting. Huh. Okay.
Oh, the production team also being Molish. Yeah, they were tricky the whole time too. They were involved in all of this. Not even production knew who the mole was.
I had heard that.
really?
That's so interesting.
Yeah, there was like, I think one. What would you call them? I don't know if it'd be like an executive producer or one of the high up producers. I believe there was only like one person who actually knew who the mole was.
So Alex didn't know either then.
Alex had no idea. She was just in the dark.
Wow.
She was as much in the dark as we were. So
That's fun.
yeah, so she was surprised every time because she had no idea whose name she was calling. She had no idea whose screen was going to go red, who was the mole. So
she's typing. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait." JACOB.
Waiting on the edge of her seat just like everybody else.
yeah, she's like,
I
next
love
up,
that.
Jacob.
I can't
She starts
wait.
typing,
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
She's like, I hate this guy. I hope he goes home. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I love Alex. She loved me. She loved all of us. We had a great time.
She was great, yeah.
Yeah,
She was
was
amazing.
a great host.
Yeah.
I loved her. Yeah.
That's wild to me, though, that she didn't know who the mole was. I thought for sure she would have known.
Absolutely.
Nope. No, she
Like,
was
she's
just
sitting
as
there like,
surprised
"Oh,
as
can't
we
wait for
were.
them to see." Yeah, that's so cool. I love that.
It'd be funny because we would, talk to production or story teams or, people on the sound team, lights, microphone, and everybody's playing the game just like us. You'd hear them talk, oh, I think it's this person. No, I think it's this person. Oh my God, I can't believe so-and-so went home. It was fun for everybody.
Fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wow.
They did an
Wow, that's
amazing
really cool.
job keeping it under wraps.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought production in general for this show was great. The way it was shot, the way everything looked, I thought was fantastic. Yeah.
The budget, the camera, just every fine detail was looked over. It took forever through edit, and it shows how well and how much time and effort they put into it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's an interesting question here. So Matt wants to know, so are the eliminations we saw exactly how they went down in real life, orders and all? And are you allowed to say this? There's your out.
I don't think this is anything inappropriate or anything that I can't say.
Okay.
Usually the eliminations were a lot longer. Now on the show, you see it, usually 2 or 3 people are called. 9 times out of 10, she went through a lot of people until it got to the point of someone being eliminated. So a lot more people would see a green screen before the red screen. But for the sake of, the show, they only show, I think, like 3 or 4 at each dinner.
Yeah.
Elimination.
That'd
Yeah.
be a little exhaustive.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
enough for
stressful. You're sitting there at that table.
now. Right.
Come on, Alex, damn it, call my name.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. It makes me interested too, because like if it did go through, and I don't want to get into, like we said, into anything that you can't talk about, but like if most people did get to see like their screen go green or red, and it wasn't sometimes just that second or third person that we saw in the episode, what was making Alex choose the order she was of whose results to reveal. You know what I mean? Was that production? Again, that feels like something maybe you can't say, but you know what I mean? If Alex just doesn't know who the mole is and she's reading out these elimination results, how is she choosing what order to go in? That would, most of the eliminations getting towards the end of the players, like, and their results being revealed.
Yeah, she had an order somehow, and it was never the same order. She knew, I think, the order of people she was supposed to call out first up until, a red screen appeared, I guess. That is actually a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fun.
Huh.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Yeah.
What a wonderful
Matt's always got good questions.
starter.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So already some of the questions that we had answered.
Yeah, right.
But dying to know how some of these like challenge days actually looked. Like, so you guys stayed in a hotel each time, then what? You just like hopped in a car and was like, oh hey, like did you have breakfast first? Like what went on and how did you guys get
Bagel
to
breakfast.
know each other? Yeah.
Yeah, we were very well taken care of in the means of survival. I mean, food, anything we needed, it was usually at hand. We have what we would call our handlers, pretty much babysitters. We had to be chaperoned at all times, no matter what we were doing or where we would go. But mission days, it just depended on where we were at and what we were doing. Sometimes, especially because we were over there during the COVID heaviness for Australia, we never knew what was going to happen. We could go days without filming and had a lot of downtime, or they could say, hey, we're going to start filming tomorrow, and we would film for, days on location. It was just different depending on the mission and where we were at.
Okay. So I don't remember if they ever said, when was this filmed? Like how long ago was it?
The summer of 2021.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a year ago, a little over a year ago.
Yeah, some time ago.
Well worth the wait. Well worth the wait.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We had to keep this secret for so long. It was a hard
I
fought
can't
battle.
even imagine. Yeah. Wow.
But now we all stay in touch.
Thing I did a year ago.
Yeah, it's so prevalent now, and everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, how's Australia?" I'm like, "I'm home now, but it was great."
Right. That's so funny.
Just kind of tucked it away under the rug for a year, and now it's like, "Oh hey, I should probably talk about this thing I did last year."
Right. I'm sure there's been not that you guys maybe fell out of touch, but there's probably even a resurgence among you guys now, like interacting and posting stuff on social media now that you can and all that. Like, it's been over a year since you filmed all this, and we're probably together in one place, right?
Oh, for sure. Now, some of the cast members, we're all in a group chat together, and we all still talk all the time. Even when we left, we would continue to stay in touch, and a lot of them would hang out or meet up, but you never see anything posted on social media because we weren't allowed to. So you're seeing a lot of content hitting now because there's just a year's worth of banter from the cast.
You guys would also really luck out because like we've been, and everybody's been saying it so much, this was such a likable group of people. Like there was just so much, like there wasn't a single person on the show that like we weren't excited to see.
Yeah. It was a diverse group, and we did rub, butt heads every now and then, but we are all, even on off days, we would all hang out. We'd go to dinners, we'd go on hikes, go see the ocean. We would always be together.
I do have to bring up too, we're talking about like all the content being posted on social media. Please explain to me what led to Thirst Trap Day, because all of a sudden the cast of The Mole went feral, and I said, what is happening here?
The first one that I seen, it was Will, of course, and he posted something, and I said, okay, challenge accepted. And I shouldn't have said that because I didn't realize how big, Twitter comments can get out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
And so for days, it was like 2 days, everybody was like, oh, Jacob, hey, where, come on, where you at? Hey, you started this. I'm like, oh man, okay.
Oh,
and then Pranav jumped in, and so I was like, all right, now I have to. And then someone, of course, Dom's got stuff out there because he's huge on social media. So, and then people pulled some of Dom's stuff, and I'm like, damn it, now I have to. If I don't deliver, I'm going to be shut out of Twitter just as I started. So I got to.
It's like they were just rolling in. I was like, what is going on?
Like, this molecast
is
great
day. It was a great day. It's like, what's happening out there? These people are awesome.
Like, we didn't see this side of them on the show. Damn.
Right.
Wow. This is why we need live feeds.
No, yeah.
Do you watch Big Brother? Do you know anything about it?
I really don't know. I haven't seen. Now, the most that I've seen is from the Big Brother following on Twitter. That is a crazy. I don't want to
Crazy
call.
place.
Yeah.
You're sitting in it.
Mm-hmm. They really adopted you all.
Yes, they did. And everybody's like BB, and I'm like, okay, Big Brother. Yeah. These are Big Brother people. Talk to me. Yeah.
Yeah, we're part of that. That's how
we all know how crazy it is. We know how crazy it is.
It's wild out there.
Start it up and start watching it. I mean, Big Brother's been around forever, so it's got to be, worth a watch at least.
Yeah.
It's worth more than a watch. How dare you? My asexuality.
Oh my god.
My pleasure. I try.
He was very proud. All right, so back on track. What do we have here?
I want to know about a couple of these. I want to hear about a couple of these questions we have about like the bank heist mission. I think Gina, that was your question, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to get into that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because that was one of the first things that kind of started getting the ball rolling of maybe you being the mole, of like the miscounting of the money, and maybe like was it intentional versus what was a mistake. And I know that like obviously the stakes were very high, there was a lot of money on the table, but I'm just very interested in kind of what led to that and what your thought process was and whether things were purposeful or accidental.
This has been talked about a lot lately, so I feel like I can say the things that have already been said without jeopardizing anything. I did not sabotage by any means necessary. That was 100% realistic, real time. Now, what I will say is that was definitely the episode where the narrative was being shown as me being the mole. And so it makes me look quite suspicious, and it shows Avery just, oh my God, Jacob's the mole, But let's be honest here. If my count was off, could have been. We were dealing with 8 different currencies there, some crazy amount, thousands and thousands of bills laying all over the tables. If my counts were off $1 here, $1 there by accident, there's no way it would have equaled the $600 that we were off. Now,
right.
Now there was what I seen was an accidental stack of money being put in, but it could have been purposefully in there. It could have been an accident, or it could have needed to be in there. I think we need to start at the top. Let's ask Pranav what, hey, you're the one that was doing the exchange rates for this money. That might equal $600 here or there,
It's true. It's true.
Oh, yes, but I feel like Pranav was also kind of like dealt a bad hands here. He's over here with this calculator. He's got Miss Ma'am over here giving him the right denominations or not. That's still up for debate. We don't know. We couldn't see from our view. I was looking up.
Was it Sandy?
It was Sandy. Yeah.
It was Sandy, right? At one point, who said that like
Sandy,
that one denomination that was actually 50,000. She told Pranav 500,000 or something.
Yeah. And by that, it was close to the end of the mission, and I think she was just mentally exhausted. We all were. It was a very intense, mentally challenging mission. It was rough.
I feel like Avery throughout the game was constantly doing things to make herself suspicious too, and I feel like I could see that like she was purposely telling people that you miscounted. Oh, this one was 51, this one was 49, and like I could see that being something that she repeats in her little confessionals or to other people in the game, just to make it reinforce it, even in her own head, of like, oh, I'm going to tell everybody that Jacob was miscounting. I don't know.
Yeah, I can definitely see that out of Avery. I'll have to bring this up to her next time. I'll talk to her tomorrow and be like,
please do.
America thinks you're wrong because, of all the shady things you did, Avery.
Yes.
No, God love you, Avery. If you're watching, I'm just messing with you. But yes, we do. In my confessionals, a lot of the questions I was asked was, so did you see Avery put extra money in there? That sounds like the mole. Or did Pranav mess up the equations? That seems like the mole. But we don't get to see that. So It is how they laid it out. But a lot of the world is asking me how my math skills are, and I'm like, not the greatest, but damn, I was trying my best.
Right, but she did also say like, "Oh, this pile was 49, this pile was 51," and it's like, okay, you're acting like that's a very wide margin, and it's
Right.
like,
To be fair, that also evens out. So like,
exactly, it's literally he was
Right,
off by
right.
one. Like, I don't know.
49 and
This could go
51,
either
100.
way.
There's your 2 stacks.
Right.
right.
It's still one note, so maybe something got stuck together. We're stressed out. We don't know what's going on. We're rushing. Everybody's moving
Right.
very fast.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you about Sandy?
$600. Oh, what do you want to know about Sandy? Oh, she's
All right, now
she's
correct-
fantastic.
Listen,
She's
correct
like
me if I'm wrong. Because a lot of this, we watch this in like one big blur, because like that's the problem with binging these things. So who knows what went on in the beginning game. So sorry, Sandy. But now it was Sandy that really led the charge at the saloon, wasn't it now? Basically now it's basically not wanting Dom to come back into the game.
Oh yeah, I'm dying to know about this. What your
Yeah,
opinion
it
was on the
wasn't a lot
Dom
Oh,
debate.
What was your, because like that kind of like it happened very quickly. Sandy said what she had to say, and she said, Dom, absolutely not. No, he knows more than us. No way. And everyone went, okay. And like that was just it. And it's like, well, what does Jacob think?
oh, this is probably the most heated debate and the heated issue that a lot of everybody's talking.
Hot topic.
It's a hot topic, 100% about the mole. So
it's on
you see
fire.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
let me try to extinguish this flame. I should go home.
You already are.
Yeah, true. Justice for Sandy, you've seen that all over social media. What we don't like about this particular edit of that episode is it was a joint decision. Sandy wasn't even the first one to speak up. Everybody was on the same page when deciding on Dom to come back. The only person who said no was Cassie. Cassie was the only one who put up an argument to bring Dom back, which is a good play if you think about it for the mole. It makes her look very.
Sure it is. That's
Yeah.
very interesting. Yeah.
I didn't really think about it that until I found out, she was. But Sandy was not even the loudest. Everybody said that. I was one of the first ones to say, I don't want Dom back. He's a player we got eliminated. It's another player out of the way. We shouldn't bring him back. And everybody agreed on that. And except Cassie, but that's not the way it's portrayed. Now, in my opinion, I think that they portrayed it that way to make her look suspicious and look like the mole because that's the episode she gets eliminated on.
Right,
I can't
right.
be sure on that.
Okay.
But definitely what that comment says, to make it more dramatic and to cause a lot of,
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
reality TV stir.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that scene, I remember, and the reason that I had the feeling that I did was like Sandy kind of like took this over, like this was on her, was because we did
Sandy's
see,
charge.
right? Well, if I remember correctly, we did see somebody answer a question for Dom off the bat, and it felt like, okay, they're all going to help their friend get back in the game, and it went from Dom getting help with that one question to then Sandy, what we saw, being like, nope, drinking my beer, nope. And that's why we all
I said no.
I
said no. Salty Sandy.
Right, and even like that's why I remember it was like a big conversation point too of like, okay, well, why didn't they just like skip over Sandy and everybody else answers the questions? Like, because I didn't feel as though everybody was in agreement on that from the way that I was seeing it,
Yeah, and they showed Sandy right away, saying no, and it was like a couple minutes later, you hear me, and then you hear, I believe, what was it, Joy? Someone else, I don't remember, spoke up or I think it was Casey, said, I don't want Dom back. So you got to see a few people's opinion, but they really made it look like Sandy was leading that pack, and Sandy was so close to Dom. I mean, we're playing a game. It was different than the way it looks.
Was there any discussion among you guys about what would happen if Dom came back anyway, and how you would sort of like respond to that? Because what we saw was that he came down to a 50-50 shot. He was 1-1, Seattle, the correct answer, but he went with the other city, whatever it was.
Melmore.
Melmore, which, oh, Oh, wow.
Wow. Well, didn't that work out about nice?
Yeah,
Right?
it was where my elementary school was. I mean, it's a village. There's probably about 12 houses and a playground.
Wow. Wow. Oh man, but I am curious, like, did you guys talk at all about like, all right, well, we're not helping him, so what happens if he still comes back?
Yeah, we probably had, I don't remember how long that particular mini mission was because they classified that as a mission. We'll call it the Dom mission. I think it was like 10, 15, somewhere around 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. We had to discuss, talk to Dom, and just try to figure out what we wanted to do and if we wanted to give him these answers. Well, Pranav gave him his answer right away because Dom and Pranav were close as well. He already knew Pranav was an Eagles fan. Yeah, so it was Philly. And he just told him. And then after that, we just started to discuss, wait, what happens if Dom comes back? And so we discussed it for a while, and that was when everybody said, no, I don't want another player in here. We already got one person out. Then we have to compete with him. And another big topic was he knows who he voted for on the quiz and got eliminated voting for. So he's going to have an upper hand over everybody anyways. That was a big deciding factor as well.
Right.
And so at that point,
did you agree with that?
I 100%. Yeah, I was one of the ones that said, absolutely not. I do not want another player to come back into the game.
Yeah.
And then after we all agreed and we finally said, we're done talking to Dom, it was brought up, what happens if he guesses correctly? He's going to get to come back in. And it was at that point where we're like, if that's the way the hand's dealt, then at least he brings 10 grand with him.
Right. Okay.
But then he just never showed up. So we just kind of figured, nope, he ain't coming back.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dom.
Wow. So yeah,
Sorry.
I liked Dom. I liked Dom a lot. So
I did enjoy him.
Dom's got a huge internet and social media following. Have you guys checked him out? He's probably the most Instagram and TikTok famous out of all of us. Like, he's got a huge following. That's why Sandy was getting a lot of crap online because of Dom's huge following. And he did.
Yeah.
He did the most sweet thing he could have ever done. He got on and made a TikTok and said, hey, leave my girl Sandy alone. Things aren't what they seem like on TV. He's like, that is not how that went down. He's like, I love my Sandy. And, it was really sweet of him.
Oh,
that's nice,
thanks,
yeah.
Dom.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great.
That's good. Thanks, Dom. Sorry. Now I'm totally lost.
I want to know about the Kasi night in the warehouse.
Oh, boy.
Well,
What would you like to know?
Everything surrounding the
yeah.
experience. Yeah. My goodness gracious. So she runs off and she says nothing. What is the next thing said? What happened after that? Because we didn't get to see any of it. It was just like, all right.
Yeah, it was like a hard cut, and that was
and it's
done.
like, so what was that? Like,
Joy's reaction to this was one of my favorite moments of the season, by the way.
I
think
rewound
Yes.
that about
that exemption.
probably like 83 times.
Joy goes, oh, bravo, your Joy impression. I love
I
it.
told you 83.
He said
83, yes.
So that was quite fun. As you see, Will and I were on the end, and as soon as we heard the mission, like, I looked at him and he looked at me, and I said, there is no way I'm getting out of this warehouse tonight. None of these people trust me. And he goes, dude, same. He was like, I'm stuck here, you're stuck here. I said, I'm voting for you because it's a safe bet. Nobody else is going to pick you. I said, they all hate me, they all hate you. We all hated each other by that point. We were getting on each other's nerves. We all loved each other, though. It was just, like a family.
Sure.
And come to think about it, when, they straight up took a vote. I said, I want Will. He said, I want Jacob. Nobody can complain and bitch at me for being the reason we get stuck on the floor. And then everybody picked Kasi. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Looking back, I think the only single person who wouldn't have taken that exemption was Casey, because Casey is the most sweetest, genuine girl I've ever met in my life. She's
I feel like we saw so often in the season, like, if there was ever a moral dilemma, she was like, I'm just gonna do the right thing. Like, never even questioned it for a second.
Yep, that is Casey, 100%. She is like your typical girl next door. Like, she is the best. And so I think she would have been the only one who would not have taken the exemption. But everybody picked Cassie, and she took that exemption and wouldn't look at any of us and walked out the door. And I'm like, yeah, that seems about right. Let's get comfortable, guys.
Wow.
So,
Oh, that's so crazy.
hold on now. Before we get into what the conditions really were like that night, are you saying that you would have taken the exemption as well?
Absolutely. Oh, but
Nice.
I would have turned around and said, see you in the morning, suckers. You know, I would have just been
Yeah,
ridiculous.
right.
I love that.
I'd have been like,
Good.
I'll drink some champagne for you guys. I love you. Yeah,
So,
I would have. We know Avery. Avery said she would have.
Oh,
James says that
Casey said in her.
That's
I
what
don't
he
remember
says.
that.
Listen, again, I watched this in a blur. I don't remember, but
Yeah, I don't
I don't
remember.
know. I don't know. You might want to
Let's
text
call
Casey
her
real quick.
right
yeah,
now.
like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, did you say that?
I'm going to find out. I'm going to get to the bottom of that because
Wow, I don't remember
I
that.
d-
That's so funny.
I don't remember that either. I'm going to have to watch it. I guess I need to watch the show again.
Yikes. Yeah.
Who knows? It's a game of lying and deception. My
So Cassie
opinion.
walks out.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Sure.
Cassie walks out, and we all just kind of sit there dumbfounded and, oh, well, here we are. And then I think someone made the comment that we didn't even attempt to get the money. It was the first person we put up there. They took the exemption and ran. They're like, this is embarrassing. Yep. So they gave us our little blankets, and we were on the floor. We were in that warehouse right there for the rest of the night, and they filmed for a while. I wish they would have shown some more of the content because we were talking about game strategies and fighting with each other, and then we all went to bed. But yeah, it was really cold.
Yeah, it looked like it because you could actually see your breath.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, we had some blankets there, as you've seen. So at least we had some blankets and some
Something.
little foam
Right.
cot mattresses and a couple pillows, but that was it.
Yeah, that looked awful.
Yeah, Alex
and
never brought us coffee or anything. Like, what the hell?
right.
What is
And
that?
then just being
Come on,
chained
Alex.
to other people too. Like,
Yeah, I don't even like being around these people normally, and you're going to chain me to them. This is like the worst punishment you could give me.
right.
I don't know what the worst part of this punishment is.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was probably the hardest night
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
What was it like
Yeah.
that next morning now when you actually saw Cassie? Like that was like were you genuinely pissed? Did you think it was a little funny? Like
I
was
really
there
had
a little
enough
part
say.
of you that chuckled.
Yeah, for sure. There was a little part of me that chuckled because the conversation you seen on the show was exactly how that morning went. Like, we all walked in, and Cassie goes, how are you? And Greg goes, how do you think we are? And she's like, I don't know. That's why I'm asking Greg. And everything that happened, the show put in there just perfectly. Like, that was exactly how the morning went, where I'm like, well, I'm going to go get some coffee and go take a nap. And
So funny. Oh, that's so funny. Greg is a great personality too.
What a
I'm
good
glad you brought
character.
that.
Yeah, Greg is so fun. Greg is
oh,
so
Greg.
fun. Greg is really fun.
He is. He's such a riot. He's really dramatic on screen. He lives for it. He loves it. Off screen, nicest guy in the world. Just, he accents himself very well on camera and loves the drama. He's reality TV is everything to him. He lives for this stuff. So
do we.
but off camera, he's so nice. Just like
Right,
everybody.
and we were saying like this isn't of course like a slight to him in any way, but like he just plays the villain so well. Even if like he's not really doing anything villainous, he's just such a delicious character to have on TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
His confessionals, the way that he can narrate something. When I was watching the show, I was just dying laughing. I'm like, Greg, nobody could have put it in better words than Greg on some of these situations.
Wow.
I have a new question that we didn't send you.
Oh.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a fun segue. It's already going that way. So you've been very vocal about your close relationship with Joy, which is something
Yeah.
that we didn't really get to see very much,
Mhm.
which is something I would love to know more about. But before that, I would really love to know how you, now knowing that you guys do have a close relationship, right? How you felt about her almost zeroing the pot out to get this exemption. Like that couldn't
That was
have gone over
wild
well.
to watch.
Friend or not, like that had to piss you off just a little bit. Like, because I know if either
25
John or
grand.
Gina did it, I'd kill him.
Honestly, it really didn't bother me that much because here's why. It was a very confusing mission to quickly, hey, you didn't look at the dossier, you get to write down the amount of money you want to spend to cast your vote on who you think looked, and if you win, you get to have an exemption. So she went in there like everybody, and short time frame just went, okay, I'm doing this, I'm going for it. It was great on her part. It was great on game. Now, when Alex announced it, I was like shocked, but she was so distraught and so upset, like she was almost crying. And what they don't show is, we had a lot of time to talk about that and discuss it between the cast once we found out. And I took Joy outside and she was like freaking out. And the first thing she said to me, she's like, I'm sorry, Jacob, are you mad at me? Because at this point we were, we did have our alliance. We were working together. We were great friends. And I said, Joy, actually I made it look like I was yelling at her, so everybody thought I was, but I said, Joy, I said, I am not mad at you. I think this was a good move for our game. I am the only one who's on your side. Don't worry about it. We'll make the money back. I came here with nothing. So if I go home with $1 as a winner, it's still better than what I came here with.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was like, okay, thank you. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, let's just go back here, and it's going to be a long night for both of us. Let's get into dinner.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah,
There's
me
something
too.
else I heard you say though. You said this is good for our alliance. So there were alliances that were working together outside of Avery and Pranav?
Yes. I don't really
Mute yourself, Jonathan.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I have COVID.
I think you need a little cocktail yourself, maybe some some Sudafed, some NyQuil or something, and get goofy on us.
Yeah, it's been a wild 48 hours for me.
Oh, jeez.
We can have
You're like,
another
I got to
midnight
deal with
party
Jacob tonight.
No way. No way.
But other alliances, I mean, I know Will and Kasi were close. I wouldn't say they had an alliance, but they were probably really good friends. You had Pranav and Avery, they were tight for the amount of time that they were there. You will soon, John.
Thank you, Matt.
That's supposed to be very sweet.
Love you. But I mean, and me, Casey, and Joy, we were all super, close and friends. But when it came to alliances, it was just me and Joy and Pranav and Avery.
Okay. Interesting. We didn't get to see that.
No, and I think if the show would have ended differently, if Joy or I would have won, that would have been the story that they would have told, because it would have been great for the winner. But since it didn't go either of our ways, I think it just kind of got pushed under the rug because there wasn't a whole lot of time, and it looked good to show the drama, between us. But we were, so tight, so good of friends. We worked together ever since the Red Button mission. It was a really good friendship.
Wow.
Now, I do want to make sure that we don't skip over the drama, though, because you had mentioned something about, we'll get into the shithole mole later, and I want to make sure that we don't skip over that, because we have to talk about it.
Oh, we're not skipping it. We are here. We are here at Miss Joy. Let's go.
Yes. Joy's one of the most amazing people I've ever met. We had some other players, and she just talked about this on her podcast tonight. We had some of the players who were suspecting that her and I were working together, and it was her idea. She's like, we got to throw these people off our scent. We got to get these people to think that we hate each other. She's like, I'm going to call you out at dinner tonight. And I said, let's do it. Let's fight. Let's bring it on. Bring it on, girl. I didn't know she was going to bring it that hard, but she did. And so I was like, oh man, okay, it's my turn. She's going to follow the shithole mole. I got to follow the shit ways here. And so I hit him with all the facts and, called her the shit on the bottom of the shoe for the missions. And it was very intense. We did great.
That's
And
awesome.
we didn't,
Damn,
I
so
didn't
that
know
was
it was
all
going to,
pre-planned.
it wasn't,
It makes the whole thing even better.
it was pre-planned that there was going to be a fight, like when we had our fight. But what was being said, absolutely not. It was completely off the brim of your hat.
Wow.
I love that.
I love
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
So
Afterwards,
is
we
that
were like, good job. I still love you. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I still
I'm
love
not
you.
mad. We're still good. We're still good.
Yeah.
So is that how you guys ended up in that other mission? I don't know what it was. The train and navigating. And I'm like, I don't know why they keep giving Joy a map. Like why is she always in charge of navigation? And why did Jacob go for this?
Yes. So we were already, we loved working together. We were already in our alliance, fourth wall's down and we're breaking walls here. Oh, you want to see
that's the
T-Spill?
game. That's the game. That's the beauty of it. And I love
Mhm.
it. I think it's just so interesting. It's just such not a world that we're used to living in, Sorry, that was not the conversation. I derailed you. I derailed you as we're talking about the train.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
Look at that
Hey, pong, 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 pong.
Oh, man, perfect. We're going to keep this train on the tracks. And so when we got to the train and car and the running mission, we knew that two people had to be in the car. And me and Joy were like, hey, we'll work together. And there was absolutely no sabotage in that mission because her and I had just came off of losses from missions. We both came off of failures. And so we really, really wanted to bring our team some money because we did want to add to the pot. We weren't manipulating, we weren't sabotaging that game at all.
Yeah.
Chug on forward. I like it.
Yeah.
Hey.
I had to show it immediately because I started laughing as soon as I read it. I was like, I'm not laughing at you.
What a funny group. You guys are great. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so fun.
I should have wore like my dad joke shirt, I'm here for the dad jokes.
That's all right. That's for when you come back.
Yes, exactly. Hey.
I'm laying down the tracks.
Oh my god.
I can't do this.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. This is
too
great.
fun. Oh god.
Totally off the rails. Totally off the rails.
Off the rails.
Oh no.
Oh, he's over there tooting his own horn. Listen to him.
Oh god.
It's just very fun. It's very fun. I don't even know what we were talking about anymore.
Yeah, I
Oh
have no
my
idea
God.
That's all right. It was something about maps, and it was not supposed to be sabotage.
No. Yeah, the train mission.
Mhm.
We had to outrun a train. And here we go. The Hank Hill of dad jokes is known as Jacob.
I love it.
So I sell fire equipment and fire equipment accessories. I love King of the Hill. It's great.
Propane is a fire hazard.
It is.
Oh
Damn
my
it,
God.
Oh my god. That's great.
Oh man.
Oh, it's just very good.
We could have a whole session, a whole cast of just people telling jokes. Give them a topic and we'll just run with it,
Yeah, give us that episode.
Yeah, so just see where it goes. So good.
Hey, yeah. Okay. So
yeah, the train
back
and
back to the train mission.
and-
This damn mission.
Oh
So,
my
like I was
gosh.
saying, there was no sabotage from Joy or I, and she's getting a lot of heat online for her ability with maps, and a lot of us are again justice for Joy because you got to think with what she does for her career and her job is very specific, and she's really good at it. You throw her into a situation where we have a reality TV show with these maps that are made and they have hand drawings and handwritten and just nothing's in perspective. Nothing is to scale. I mean, our map that we had to follow for the car mission, I don't want to get into too much because bad, Jacob.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry, big brother. Oh, not the show, not the show. Like,
I know, but another fun pun that we just
oh yeah.
upon.
No, I don't want to get on the Big Brother Twitter bad side. They will crucify me. No. I love you all so much.
Never.
No, they'll like that one. They'll like that one. That was a good time.
Yeah, my Big Brother. So the maps were a lot different and they were kind of difficult to follow. What you guys don't see on the show is, there was a lot to that mission that didn't play or didn't get shown properly. But I will say something where me and Joy did screw up is we got greedy and we went back to that last mailbox. We were on our way back to the train station and we passed. Like, we're driving and we're like, oh, look, there's the third mailbox. Shit. What do we do? Yeah. So we both decided, let's turn around real quick and go and hit it. We got it, just not in enough time. So we screwed that up. But there was absolutely no sabotage. We both tried our hardest. The maps, take that with a grain of salt. Anybody who watches it, they're not the greatest thing, but it is what it is.
I feel like if I had the best map in the world and I was driving in a country for the very first time, I would still get screwed up, even with the best map. So, yeah.
After doing some of these missions where I had to find things and navigate, I always thought I could do Amazing Race. That would be easy as hell. I'm like, holy shit, I couldn't even navigate around Australia in probably a mile radius. I'm like, maybe I wouldn't be so good at that show, but I'd still give it a try.
Right. Oh man, you'd be fun to watch on Amazing Race.
Oh yeah.
Joy and I have had this conversation. She asked me, she was like, would you do Amazing Race with me? I said, of course. I would love to do Amazing Race with you.
That.
Yeah. How we get that started? How can we get that started?
You guys know anybody? Hey, hook us up. I mean, the whole cast has been talking about doing other shows. And Twitter has been like, all right. I think they said Pranav and Avery need to do Amazing Race. Joy needs to do Big Brother. No, Greg needs to do Big Brother. Joy needs to do, what was the one that they said, Joy? I don't remember. But they said Jacob needs to do Survivor. Oh, they said Joy needs to do the challenge. And I'm like, ooh, that's a good one. Wow. They've already got us picked. Yeah.
You like the challenge, huh?
I haven't really seen the challenge.
It's a lot of fun if you want to get into it.
It's all right. You did admit that reality TV was a little right.
I am getting so into it now, though, now that I've seen the other side of it. And
yeah, welcome.
And now I see how big of a community it is and how much you get engrossed in those games and those people's lives. I'm like, ooh, I'm getting Twitter is, you guys are winning me over with this reality TV stuff. So if there's anybody who does reality TV and are watching, I'm open to more opportunities.
Hey.
Yeah, come on down. Yeah. Cast our friends.
It's funny. It's funny to hear you going through social media and seeing like what people are saying, like what show Joy would be good on, or what show Avery would be good on, or what show you would be good on. Because like Gina was saying before, I felt like this cast was so likable and you guys were all just so awesome that like I could see any of you on any of those shows, and I think that it would be great.
Yeah, they should put us all together again for something.
Hell yeah!
Even like Family Feud.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's not like such a good time. Like so fun.
That would be great. They could do like the Mole versus Big Brother.
Yeah, hell yeah!
I love it.
Someone call Steve Harvey right now. Where's my publicist?
Hello, Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve. Oh my god.
Matt wants to know if you would ever play Survivor. What do you think? You mentioned that before, didn't you?
I would gladly. I would do any of them, but Survivor, I mean, I'm an outdoorsman. I live I live in the middle of the woods. I live in the middle of a swamp by myself. I love the outdoors. I love camping. I was one of the few that really enjoyed the Daintree Rainforest, the very first episode where we actually did sleep out underneath the stars right there where you seen us. That was our camping spot for the night outside. And they put me on the outside because a lot of them were scared of spiders and they wanted them to eat me first. But yeah, I loved it. It was just like camping. I'm like, dang, can we stay here for another night? That was great. But yeah, I would gladly do Survivor. Heck yeah.
Yikes. No,
Wow.
sir. No,
Nice.
sir. I need my toiletries. Absolutely not. No way.
Oh, that's great.
No, there's no way. I could never do it. Are you watching this current season of Survivor?
No, but I did see Samara talking about it online, so now I feel like I need to because it sounds like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It has
This
been.
season,
It has been
this
good.
season
Yeah.
has been very fun. It's been very, very
Mhm.
fun. Yeah. Get on board. Get on board. Come on into the universe, you know? Do we have
And then
anything
maybe
else
sometime
planned?
I can jump on and talk with you guys, and just talk about another show. Did you see what that person did? Oh man.
Oh, we would love that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I love that you said
Absolutely,
it first.
yeah.
I love that you said it first.
Yeah,
You're
we are gonna.
following the tracks. You're following the tracks.
Hey, yeah, you know.
Hey!
Oh God.
There was only one
God.
destination this train could go, you know. We would get there eventually.
And it was just
Oh, man.
basically all the way to best friendship.
Exactly, you know.
Yes. This train has
Oh,
left
man.
the station and there's no stops in between.
It's just nothing but the love train around here, you know.
Oh man.
Love train. That's a
Oh
song
God.
from
Yeah.
S Club 7. All right. S Club
Come
7.
on, S Club
All right,
7.
Come on, S Club 7. We have really gone off the rails now.
Mhm.
Like,
Hey,
you
yeah, we
thought-
have.
No, I know. You thought Midnight Strat Chat was crazy. We did a midnight mole. We had a midnight mole party.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, that was on Friday.
Yeah.
That was on
Yeah,
Friday.
the night the finale dropped, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
It
was
was.
like,
We were
hella
tired.
wasted. And I took like a nap, and I was like, "Can you guys text me when it's midnight mole time?" And they texted me like really late, so we were like 15 minutes late to the stream. It was just a disaster.
Well,
we
you
had
guys
a
are East.
time that night.
You guys are
Yeah.
Eastern Standard Time like me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when it actually dropped, it would have been 3 a.m. for us, and I was like, "There's no way I'm
Right.
staying up till 3 a.m. I'll catch it tomorrow when I wake up."
Mhm.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we were really like 12:30 a.m. Saturday.
Yeah. Yep.
Technically,
Did your
Right.
evening?
Yeah.
Right.
So I had to take a nap.
Oh,
I
that's
had to take a
great.
nap. Yeah. What else do we have here? We did the
I,
warehouse.
I think there's just one that we didn't cover yet.
Yeah, we did a great job.
Yeah,
I'm
because
interested to know about your elimination.
yeah, that's what I was gonna get to. Yeah, because one of the
yeah.
things that like we didn't really see on the show, like we would see everybody taking the quiz and we would see who got eliminated, but we didn't really see a lot of how people were answering the quiz questions and who was suspecting who. So as people were getting eliminated, we weren't really seeing who they were voting for, or who they were thinking was the mole. And you were one of them that like we just weren't really sure who you were suspicious of and why you ended up being eliminated in that week.
I'm sorry. I seen that.
I know it's
Right,
my
right,
fault.
right,
It's
right.
my fault. There was a lot going on.
Being
There was a lot of,
distracting.
I know there was a lot of good comments here. Jacob, the form of Strat TV. It's crazy. You guys are
Oh,
very-
this is great.
it's very
Yeah,
simple.
don't worry. I'm fully equipped. I got just the tools for that hydrant. We're gonna put a stop to that flow.
Oh my god.
He knows how to fight fire.
That's right. That's right. This is. We could take this to a rated R level. We're gonna have to
Oh
get you guys.
no.
It's almost midnight.
When do the kids go to bed? Yeah.
They should already be there. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. We weren't hired to be role models.
I definitely wasn't. I cannot believe how much they showed me swearing on the show. I think I threw the F word twice, and I was like, "Oh no, there goes my Disney career." Shit.
No way.
Yeah.
You see some of the degenerates they let in that universe, please. You're
That's
fine.
true. That's true.
You're fine.
They might be like, "He's got a mouth on him. Do we
Let's
need a
get
new
him.
superhero for Marvel? There's got to be a character we haven't used
Right,
yet.
let's get
Jacob
him.
would be good.
Justice
Yeah.
for Jacob. Justice for Jacob.
Justice League for Jacob. DC. Here we go.
Woo!
hell yeah.
Please save the universe because it's a mess.
We have some. Yeah, we support. We
Yeah.
support.
We need
I
help.
would love it. I would love it. And my main goal is to be a TV firefighter. Like I would love to be a TV
Oh, hell
firefighter
yeah.
on one of those TV shows, but definitely get to the point in my career where I can do a superhero would be
So
phenomenal.
maybe you can be part of the reboot of Captain Planet. You know,
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Sure.
I don't want to
Save
wear the tights though.
in the world. All right. All right.
I'll be like a smart sidekick who
You may not
you know.
want to, but I feel like Twitter does.
Oh, Twitter would love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So you know,
they'd be like, put Jacob on there, but in see-through tights. Oh, you should see
and no one would
some of the
complain.
comments I get. I love Twitter.
Oh, I can only imagine.
It's just the wild west of the wild west of social medias. That's
wild
for sure.
the World Wide Web.
Yep.
Wild west of the World Wide Web.
Uh,
That was a lot to get out. That was a lot to get out. I had
Proud
a
of you.
rough
Proud of
go.
you.
Thank you.
yeah.
Gina asked a question.
Bunch of train
I
robbers.
totally
I know
derailed
we got
everything. I know.
very off topic. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're so
I am.
sorry. It's my fault. It was my fault.
We're all over the
I
place. We're having
derailed
so
this
much fun.
train. No, but we are. It's a blast.
Derailed the Gina train. So, with the eliminations, though, you're right. They don't show who we were all voting for because they wanted to make it look like, it was suspicious. The viewers have no idea. So you guys were not clued into anything, which is awesome how it happened that way. Kept everybody on their toes. I will say the questions were insane. We had to pretty much interview each other all the time. Random questions like, hey, do you have any pets at home? What's your dog's name? What's your father's middle name? Do you have a garden? These were the random questions that we would do.
Do you
I
have
know.
a garden?
Yeah.
That's so great.
If you talk to any of the other cats of the mole, that is the very question they will say. If you ask them, what's the craziest question? They'll be like, oh, the garden question, easy. Because in Australia, a garden means a yard. And
I'm so happy you said
Okay.
that. Just in case anyone else comes through here, the first thing I'm going to say is like, just tell me. Do you have a garden?
and their eyes look at this big and go, I hate that question.
I can't wait.
Because
Good.
it threw all of us through a loop. We're like, a garden, I don't know. Does Casey get out there with her rake and hoe and till up her, her carrots? I have no idea. I've never asked her. I think she lives in a city. And they're like, well, grass. And I'm like, oh, a yard. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's good to know. So when it comes to those quizzes, they're insane. But was the question, I have garden on my burger. Hey, you got to have some rabbit food on your burger.
Hey, more fun puns.
Was your question pretty much like who I voted for to get me eliminated?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I was
who
under
do you
the.
answer questions about? Yeah.
I voted for Will, and it got me
Interesting.
mixed.
So what?
Joy and I were on the Will train.
Could you kind of go into it all why you were thinking that way during that elimination anyway? Yes.
So look at the team I had with me. I was in an alliance with Joy, so I knew it wasn't her. I mean, let's be honest, Avery was so blatantly not the mole. It was
right.
It was just obvious. And so that leaves Will and Cassie. Everybody looked at Cassie and was like, "Aw." She was just she played herself so ditzy. She did an amazing job at the mole. She just looked like a goofy, ditzy, I love everybody type of person.
So did you ever at any point suspect her or no?
Not in the slightest.
Wow.
Nope. I was never suspecting Cassie. She was probably one of the first ones I wrote off.
Right.
Yep.
I don't blame
Just
you, based on what we saw anyway.
Just like everybody else. I hope that Netflix comes out and gives some extra content. Like, here's what happened and things you didn't see. Here's how the finale actually went, because there was a lot of filming that, and I know the internet is kind of pissed that the finale didn't go longer. They're like, we didn't even get to hear from anybody, and but there's content of it. So
yeah, we want more. We definitely want.
I thought
for sure.
I want a reunion.
I thought it was
for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
I want a
more than
full
what we got.
reunion. Yeah.
Yes. So
I think
what statistics that Alex gave were that there was only 2 people who ever voted for Cassie, and Sandy voted for her, like in the Great Barrier Reef, I believe, once, and then Will.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's so interesting. I was so surprised to see the finale come, and it was only like 35. It was like 10
It was
minutes
the
shorter than
shortest
every other
episode, yeah.
episode. It's the shortest
quite-
one. I'm like, yeah, I was very
It's
surprised by that.
quite disappointing. The
Yeah.
show, 10 out of 10. I mean, it was one of the greatest things I've ever been a part of in my life, and I will always rate it a 10 out of 10. It was phenomenal. But that finale, I wish they would have. They should. Hopefully, Netflix is like, we're just joshing everybody. We're gonna drop a whole new episode.
Bonus
Here's your
episode.
finale, guys. Hey, we love you.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. No,
I
we
hope that
deserve it.
I hope they're stalking me, trying to catch me say things I shouldn't, and they hear that and they take the hint. Netflix,
Yes.
I love you.
Yeah.
Cast me in another show.
Now, I think we did kind of like cut you off a little bit, but why were you suspicious of Will?
Oh, yeah. So I went through and I was looking at all my fellow players, and I got to Will. Will is the kind of guy, when you're in the game of the mole, your mind is always working and it's overworking. So Will himself, I just looked at him and said, this guy's trying way too hard. He's trying way too hard to make himself not look like the mole. It's the perfect cover for the mole, being the best team player you could ever be. And that's what Will did.
Yeah.
And so out of everybody else, once I started knocking everybody off my radar, it came down to pretty much Will. And I went with it for a while, and it kept me in the game. But once it got to the final, close to the final, I was top 4, top 5, and yep, got me right there.
So you have been voting him for a while then.
Yeah, yep. But if you think about the way if you think about the way the quizzes were laid out, a lot of the questions pertain to groups, like, was the mole in the train group? Was the mole in the swimming group? So with me voting Will, a lot of the time, Will was always hanging out with Cassie. They were great friends, and they were doing missions together like crazy. So Cassie still technically got a lot of my votes, except for the very last question.
Yeah.
Who is the mole?
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the way you laid out all the relationships, it makes sense that you would look at Will as a very likely target. And I know Joy even said it herself. I think there was a line she said, because Will was very vocal about how, like, it's like I'm bringing in all this money for the group, and I'm always earning money in these missions and this and that. And Joy made a comment like, sort of like, he that giveth taketh away. And it's like, why you're always being so vocal about how much money you're bringing in? Is this a front to not show, it's not show us the side of like, oh, all the money you're actually losing for us or not putting in the pot? It's like, you really are the mole,
Yeah, Will's he's the greatest player ever. Just ask him, he'll tell you. Will and I wish they would have shown more. You can see it definitely in the last couple episodes. We have that brotherly relationship where we just like to pick on each other and fight each other and just try to
we definitely
push each
saw that a
other's
lot
buttons.
in the pizza box episode. We got a good amount of that.
Yeah. Me and him still laugh because we will like send each other the clip of where Avery goes, I'm in a bird cage. We both look at each other and we just bust up laughing. That was the best uncandid just scene ever. We're like, okay. Anyways.
So funny. Oh, that's great.
Mr. Petty, what were you hiding there that came up and you took away real quick, huh?
Okay, so there were a number of things happening in that moment. I was trying to acknowledge something and favorite it, and then another comment came in, and I was now showing something I didn't want to show because I hadn't even read it yet. There was a lot of chaos. I was having a rough time, is what that was. So what I was trying to favorite was this. It was our friend Matt saying, Netflix, if you're watching, release the unedited reunion or the cyberbullying begins.
Matt is no stranger to cyberbullying networks.
He is not a stranger to cyberbullying. And the story behind this is, and that's what made me chuckle because it's very funny. So you said you've watched, of Survivor at least.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So the Australian version of Survivor.
I watched that while I was over there, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
I love Australian Survivor.
I didn't get to see the end, but we didn't have. Sorry, may I interrupt you? I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead. We love Australian Survivor in this house.
I apologize. so when we were over there filming, we had no contact with the outside world. Our phones were
Okay.
taken away, our computers, we had nothing. We weren't allowed to talk to anybody, nobody from home. So we had, a lot of us would read books. I know, right? Those paper things that you open up. It's weird.
A what? Who? A magazine?
Yeah. My grandpa had some of these. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Bad jokes. Don't get into the accents. That's a whole nother train station. So while we were over there, though, we would get our off time, and if we would be in a hotel room or something, what did we have? Local TV. So we had Australian Survivor and Australian Bachelor, First Mate Jimmy, and those were the two shows that we all watched.
I love that.
It was all we had. So we were all like, did you guys see Survivor last night when we were in our hotel rooms for a off day? I was like, oh my God, I love the big guy with the cowboy hat. He's my favorite, and it was great.
Then what
so continue, though.
What a gift you received. Okay, because Australian Survivor is infinitely better than American Survivor. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, it is. And I would like to say unpopular opinion, but I don't believe that it is. So for a brief moment, it popped up on the Paramount Plus, and we were all enjoying, having a great time, having a lovely January, right? And then all of a sudden, it was yanked. Right, so first they gave us seasons like 4, 5, and 6, and we're like, oh, this is wonderful, and then they added 1, 2, and 3, and it's like, that's okay, that's all right. I'm in the middle of 4. I'll go back. Just give me a minute. Let me just finish 4, and then it was all gone. They just took it away, and it was a real tragedy. So I met Matt because he was just this random person tweeting a threatening GIF at Paramount Plus daily. Until Australian Survivor returns, and I just found this random person. I said, this is very funny, so I would retweet it, but I did not follow him. And I was like, I'm not attaching myself to you, but this is very funny. I'm not going to follow you, but I will return daily.
He's no stranger to the cyberbullying.
Yes.
Yeah,
no, exactly. And this is what went on for like a month. And then he ended up starting to watch the podcast and everything. Yeah. And then I was talking to two separate people. Like, he was coming here with his puns, and we were having a good time. And I was talking to him on Twitter and having a good time, but I didn't know that the two people were the same. So I finally said to him on Twitter, and I said, yo, did you ever watch our podcast? Like, we have a lot of fun. And he was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm Matt.
He's like, I watch you every time.
He's like, we're talking.
Like, I watch all the time. He's like, I've been talking to you for months. And I was like, oh my God, it's so ridiculous. Yes.
I can put an account to the text on my screen. How perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So stupid. Yeah. So, yeah, the chuckles were layered. It was layered. There's a lot going on there. Lots happening.
Matt's part of the family.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Very much so. Very much so. I have no more scheduled questions unless somebody else
scheduled questions.
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Having a blast.
Yeah, this is great. I love it. I was like,
what if he doesn't like us?
I like to show my actual personality and my persona. That's why I love getting on and talking to people and getting to see everyone, because a lot of people have told me, oh, you're a lot different than you were on the show. And I'm like, I really wasn't, but that's all that they show. Right. It's like the first few episodes, I'm kind of in the background, kind of quiet, which if you read my bio, that was my strategy, sit back. I'm going to watch these people fight each other for alpha male and be pound on their chest, dominant, and let them knock each other out and eliminate themselves. Doing that, number one, it made me look suspicious and it made me look like the mole. But doing that, I can figure everybody out. But once you got later on in the episodes, you start to see a lot of my personality, and a lot of people by episode 5, 6, 7, 8, it's like, oh, there's Jacob. Wow, that was an interesting comment he made, or oh, yeah, there, he just said he hated everybody, or oh, yeah, he just said the F word, or oh, yeah, there's a smart ass comment, I was like, yeah, there it was.
That's so funny. Well, you were always one of our favorites, or one of my favorites anyway. So, you know.
Oh, thank you. I tried.
Yeah.
You were number 2 on my suspect list. So
Really? Who was your number 1?
Mine honestly was Cassie.
Was it?
Mhm.
Ah, good guess. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, we had talked about it at one point because, like, for me, the first thing that like tipped me off was they had that whole thing in the plane looking for the dinghy. And they like focused so much attention on Avery looking right at it and not seeing it. And they just never addressed that like Cassie was in the seat behind her, also looking out the same window and never talking about it. And I was like, I gotta pay attention to this one.
You're like, how ironic. She's over there as well. Not saying a damn thing. I wish I would have noticed that.
Right. Then the money heist happened and I was like, got it.
Yep. Seems about right. Yeah, I watched your guys' episode where it was down to the final 5. I was still in because it was right before the last 2 episodes aired. And I know some of you guys were saying like Jacob is right there in number 2. I don't know if he's going to go home or not. And I'm like, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
That's really wild. Like, because like when you're in the moment having these conversations like with your 2 best friends, so you don't actually think that the people that you're talking about are going to watch you talking about them. Like you still just assume I'm just like a guy sitting in my bedroom. Nobody's paying any attention to me. Like it's like so crazy to think that like you actually saw it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. It definitely came up on my Twitter feed because I think we talked beforehand. And I said I have to wait till after the show,
Right.
That's right. Yes.
And so I followed your guys' page and it came up and I was like, oh, they're talking about me. Let's see how much crap people are throwing at me. You guys didn't. So I was like, oh, they're so sweet. Okay.
No.
Actually, when you followed us, we all got very excited.
Oh, the group chat was ablaze.
You're like, oh man.
Did anybody see that? Yeah, really, really fun.
Maximum occupancy. Oh no, call the fire department. Fire code violation.
Oh no.
Oh, now we're getting technical here. Yeah, it's getting crazy.
Yeah.
I love the amount of mileage we are getting out of this.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
It's really so good. James keeps asking this question, so we have to ask you. Yeah, he just really wants to know about your mole notebook and how full it might have been.
Oh damn it! I'm surprised they didn't show the notebooks. Wait, or did they? And I'm screwing up again. I don't want to get caught in another. I really don't think they showed the notebooks that often.
I don't remember seeing anything about.
Well, thank goodness, because I was like, why don't I know about this?
Yeah, no,
like,
I don't remember.
And that's why I didn't show his question the first time, and then he said the second time, and I was like, yikes!
Like, okay, this is something.
Right, this is clearly a thing. So let me not gloss over this.
The notebooks were an OG mole staple, and when we got there, we all had them. We had red notebooks that had the mole symbol on the front, and they took okay, good, they didn't.
Yeah.
We took a lot of time filming us, writing in them and talking with each other. My mole notebook, it wasn't super full. I had a page for everybody. But I didn't trust anybody not to steal it and look at it, so I had code names for everybody. And I really wish I remembered what they were. I'm going to have to pull it out and look at because they were probably very stereotypical and rude to each player. Yeah. Someone asked me this last night, and I was like, I really don't remember what my code names were for everybody. They're like, well, when you get them, you gotta make a Twitter post about it.
Yeah.
They said post everybody who you thought it was or what their name was in your Twitter notebook or your mole notebook. And I will tell you, I was right in my assumption because Pranav stole it and looked at it, and he's like, by the way, Jake, I looked in your notebook and there isn't shit in there. And I'm like, it's all under code. That's why. But you want to talk? It was all coded because I didn't trust any of those people. You want to talk about who had a super intricate full notebook. Why don't you guys guess? Who do you think had the most elaborate notebooks? Two people.
Will or Avery? Will or Avery?
Avery was one of them.
Is
And
Costa the other?
Pranav. No,
Oh,
Pranav.
Yeah,
Oh,
that checks
yeah.
out.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
his intimidating intelligence. That is, if you show me his picture, that's what I'll say. Intimidating
Oh, yeah.
intelligence. The guy is scary smart. Coolest guy ever, though. But yep. Yeah, she was one of them. Their notebooks were extravagant. Mine ended up being just doodles by the end. I was drawing little pictures. Hey,
That's so funny.
look, Casey, I drew
Wow.
you a flower. Things like that.
But where
Stupid.
would they could even be stolen? Like where would they be? They wouldn't
We
just
were
be
supposed-
on your person or in your hotel room or something, or
Yeah, so for the longest time we kept them on us. We always had our notebooks close by. Never knew when we were going to have to write in them, or they wanted us to, film with them. And I was in my confessionals a lot of the time. I would pull out my notebook, but so they could just be laying on your bed or laying in just like a common area. I think the time that Pranav found mine, it was laying on my bed, and we were all bunking together. Everybody was in the same area. And so he was just like, well, let's see what Jacob's got. He probably opened it and went, what an idiot, and threw it.
It's so funny.
All
Wow.
right, interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, we're new to them all. Well, John isn't. John's watched. I think
I watched back in the day. It's been a long time though, like since the original when I watched that. That was what 20-something years ago. So
Early 2000s.
I think that was 2001.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was great. It was great watching this new iteration of it. I thought it was such a fun season. So
Yeah. It sure was. I'll tell you, it was interesting, stressful but fun.
Well, we loved it. And before we let you go, I know it's getting late. But we said we were going to play this game. I mean,
He sent a picture before, and I was like, "Oh, the pictures!"
Oh
right.
yes,
I feel
yes.
like yes, we're winding down here. But before we go, I wanted to play this little word association game, but you brought it to the next level. All right. The flame grew higher. Okay.
We're just adding fuel to this fire.
Oh yeah. It's burning brighter.
I hope my coworkers don't see this. I'm gonna get made fun of.
Oh, I hope they do.
I hope they do it. They're gonna love it.
Y'all are like, okay, email to his fire department. Here's a link.
Attention, Mr. Fireman.
Hey,
So
Chief,
silly.
this is what your guy's up to on his off nights.
This is what's going on. Yeah, thank goodness. Thank goodness we weren't on call tonight.
James is saying, "Is this a Johnny Cash song?" Stop
Ring
with this ring of
Ring
fire.
of fire, Johnny.
And I just have to say, I am wearing my Johnny Cash shirt tonight. So.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
Sidebar,
Johnny
real
Cash
quick. Yeah. Well, that was one of our questions. What famous person, live or dead, would you like to meet? That was one of the mole questions. Mine, Johnny Cash.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
I wore this on purpose.
It
It's
was meant to
perfect.
be.
I totally planned it. I mold you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I mean, the only way
moldy.
you could have done better is if you were in flannel, and it said, Fireman Jacob. But
Actually, what's
Hey.
Oh my
funny
gosh,
is that
he's
I was
always in flannel.
I was
too.
wearing this before, but
Yes.
it was just a little in my my COVID troubles that I'm having. It got a little too hot. So the
Oh, I
flannel
love
came
it.
up, but I almost wore Johnny Cash and flannel tonight. So
Oh, it's
That is-
perfect. You would have been more Jacob dressed than me.
Wow. You've been more Jacob than Jacob.
Yeah. I'm a fraud.
That's so funny. Wow.
I love that.
Okay, sorry, I
All right,
derailed
so I'm gonna-
your train again.
No,
we can play your game. I'll give you
We're
the
still
first
in
word that
mood.
comes to mind, and then I'll.
We can
give you
play
the
your
word.
game. I'm gonna mention the name of a person and show them the picture. I want you to give me your first thought. All right. No thinking. We're just gonna do it. Pranav.
Oh, like I said,
Too much thinking.
intimidating intelligence. He
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
Nice.
scary
Nice.
intelligence. He was the one
Mhm.
that I seen as the biggest threat in the game. And so I apologized to him last night because I said this on the air. I said Pranav being eliminated was probably the best thing for my game. And I said, no offense, Pranav, I love you. He's like, none taken. It's cool, because it's kind of a closet compliment, but you know.
It is.
Right.
It is. Greg.
Damn it, Greg. That's the first thing that comes to mind, because that was said so much. Damn it, Greg.
That checks out.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I love Greg, but it's just big sigh. Damn it, Greg.
Damn it, Greg. Osei. Wasn't long for the game.
Osei, it kind of makes me want to go, I'm sad. Osei was super funny. Osei was really the first person I connected with on the show. We did some on-air content together while we were in the Daintree Rainforest, but it didn't make it to cut, and he was gone like that. And Osei was dapper. You know, that would be my word for him. Suave. He had the best attire. He was so smooth. Like, he was just the coolest dude.
Yeah. He seemed like a really nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah, I felt like we got robbed of really fun confessionals losing him as early as we did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's somebody I could see back on the challenge, though. Like, why not?
Well,
honestly, there's nobody on this cast, though, that I couldn't see on the challenge, honestly.
Right, yeah.
Just for the politics and the activities themselves. Like, because a lot of these challenges are so physical. Like, I was like, oh, I want to play the mole, until they were suspended over these mountains and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, no, forget it. This is not for me. I was in it when we were doing the bank heist and we were just driving down the road really fast.
Right. Then people started like running miles and miles. And I said,
I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And
climbing mountains.
Exactly.
In the snow. No.
Yeah. You lost me. You lost me. How about Casey? We kind of touched on her before too.
Sweetheart, girl next door.
Yeah. Love her.
Casey's my girl.
Love it. Avery.
Avery. She would be your no off button Barbie doll. Like her, I had this conversation with her one time. I was like, it was an off day, and she was asking me questions about the show and about, the eliminations. And I grabbed her and I said, Avery, you have to shut it off. I said, turn the game off. Today is an off day. I don't want to talk about anything mole related, so stop it. And she's like, you're right. I'm sorry. That girl never turned her game off.
Stops.
She was on.
Not
100%.
surprising.
No,
yeah.
that doesn't surprise me either.
I feel like that makes sense, because like you even saw it kind of in her, like I think towards the end of the season, where she just kind of felt like, guys, I'm so mentally spent. Like it felt like she was like, I've been gaming so hard for so long that it's starting to affect me. That's like almost what it seemed like. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. It does play with your mind. And she for sure did.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Well.
Will.
Aw, big dummy.
Oh no.
That's the person that comes to mind. A chuckle and big dummy. Damn.
Yes, oh, big dummy. You just want to squeeze him. Oh. Let me get you a snack, big guy. Come on.
Damn. And that's it. Very little context around it. Samara.
Oh, diva. But scary diva. She's the one who, look at that picture. She looks so fierce. She's the most classiest yet vicious woman I think I've ever met. She's got all the characteristics of a boss bitch. Like she is. Yeah. That's when someone says that term, I think of Samara.
Amazing.
All right.
Very nice.
Yeah. We love it. Sandy.
Oh, my spicy Sandy. Oh, I love her. She is sweet, beautiful, fantastic. Justice for Sandy. She was wrongly convicted, but Sandy's my girl. I wish she would have been in a lot longer, because there was a lot of content of me hitting on her.
Wow.
And she was always just like, thank you, Jacob, or oh my God, shut up, Jacob. I've heard it already. Like, you're sweet. I get it.
Miss Sandy.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. We need to see more. We need a lot more footage, apparently. Joy.
Oh, Mama Joy. She's my ride or die. She was my rock.
Wow.
I love that.
Awesome.
And then last, Kasi.
Mole.
Holy moly.
Yeah, holy moly, Kasi. How dare you do that to me, you lying person. You lying manipulator, you.
Liar,
I mean,
liar, pants on fire.
We're gonna have to get
Don't
a
worry,
tally of
Oh,
all
God.
the firefighter jokes and the train jokes. Like,
They are
which
uplifting.
one beat the other one? My
Jacob
words
is
for
like, I'm
Kasi.
done with these people.
No, I love it. I'm here for it. I mean, I'll stop at every station, every train station or fire station. Hey.
Oh.
My words for Kasi, I guess, before I knew she was the mole, it would have been exactly like what I said earlier, like, "Aw, she's just so innocent and ditzy." But then I learned that she was the mole. I'm like, oh, she was playing all of us. It was part of her strategy.
Yeah.
Wow.
She had me fooled up into the end. And it could have been the edit too, but like I really just thought she was just doing things just bad.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think she's a mole. I just don't think she's good at these things. I'm like, I think she's me. Like,
Yeah.
like if I was playing this, I'm like, I could see myself doing this bad.
Because what was it, Kyle? I think you thought it was Joy, and John thought it was Avery. I think was where we landed.
Yeah, I thought it was Joy because I really just could not get past the map thing, and I know, and I know you've kind of explained some of this now, and I listen. I also kind of came into this game watching the mole is so different than like from what we've come from, like with Big Brother and Survivor and everything. It's like it doesn't matter if everybody else likes you. It doesn't matter if anyone else trusts you because you're not how I go home. That's not what this game is about. This is a social deduction game. So it's interesting. So, you automatically think, oh my gosh, how could you be a pilot and mess this up? You should, if you're a pilot, then you should want to show what your worth is and how valuable you are. Look at me. I'm the pilot. I am the navigator. You can't get rid of me. If you want to put money in the team pot, you got to keep me around. And it's like halfway through watching this season, it's like, she doesn't give a shit what anybody else thinks about her navigation.
No, she does not.
Right, doesn't work that way. Yeah,
it doesn't matter, and it's like
she's like, I don't care about these people.
Right, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do, and it's like watching it with that pair of eyes is, I really want to rewatch everything because like it took me a while to get into like that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So I just couldn't understand why somebody would want them to think. I'm like, I don't want you to think I'm the mole because then you might send me home. And it's like, well, no, like that's not how you go home. It's just a totally different way of thinking. And I found it.
Someone thinks you're the mole, they vote for you, and they go home.
Right? How exciting!
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
What a great game! What a great game! Yeah.
Where's my
that's
picture?
Why. Well, we didn't.
Oh,
show
first
you
thoughts
your
on
picture.
yourself. Wow.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I loaded these pictures in just for tonight. So I skipped you on purpose. So I can't just furnish it. I don't have it.
Oh, that's okay.
But you were in the opening theme. All right?
I was. My picture was there. Look at that. Yep.
Right. Like, come on now. You had a whole moment.
I did. I was with you guys.
Do you want to give Do you want to give any,
first
initial thoughts on yourself? First impressions of yourself?
Awesome.
I mean, awesome. Should have been the winner. I mean, the people's mole.
People's
mole. Playboy philanthropist. I could go on and on, but definitely humble. It sounds like.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, but sadly, that wasn't how the show ended.
It is.
Ugh.
I had a great time though. I sure made a big impact. I, gained a huge fan base. I did not expect to get the amount of love that I've gotten. I have had thousands of DMs that I'm sorry if anybody's listening and I haven't gotten to you yet. I try to do hours worth of responses every day, but I have gotten a train of fire. Yep. So much love and support from all over the world, and the amount of fan base that I've gotten has been insane.
Yeah.
So I'm happy
well,
I made it as long as I did and made as big of an impact as I did. People really liked me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, you're very deserving of all the all the nice
of them.
DMs and all that stuff. And we're very appreciative that you were willing to do this with us. We were
Oh,
very excited
absolutely.
when you said yes. So
Yeah. Glad you found ours. Glad you found our DMs.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
I love connecting with everybody, and especially when I get a chance to talk and share some of my story and, not be the shithole mole and show you guys I'm actually a cool guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was like a lot of fun.
Yes,
Like,
thank you guys so
sorry.
much.
Oh my god.
I just got very excited because it's time to be real. It happened.
Gina has been do you know Be Real?
No,
Be
I
Real.
haven't.
You're
Oh
about to
boy.
be in mine, so
Yeah.
get ready.
Be Real is this app, right? You get this notification that within 2 minutes
You have to take a picture of what's in front of you.
Yeah.
And it hadn't happened all day. And she's like, this better happen while we're podcasting. She goes, or I'm going to be really pissed. And
hell yeah.
I had forgotten all about it. And now we actually are still here. So, like, that's fun.
I don't know what any of this is, Jacob. So
there was a whole skit on SNL about it.
Oh my
That's
god.
great. Good.
Amazing.
Yeah. Fun.
well,
Yeah.
Did you post your
I
Be
guess that's
Real?
all
Are
we
you
got.
good?
I did. I'm
Are
done.
you good?
I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
I got it. I got it.
We're being the realist right now. We're being the realist.
Hell yeah. I'm glad I could be on your podcast and in your reel. I feel like I don't know if any of the other mole contestants have been on, something like that. So I think I've got a clear advantage
You've
here.
truly made it. You've made it.
Honestly, like this is it.
Like I said, the people's mole. I think it just shows right there.
Yep.
That does give me one more question. So, like, let's just say nobody guessed Kasi. Like, nobody thought she was the mole. Then what happens? Like, does Kasi get the team pot? Or, like, what happens at the end of that? Like,
so let's say she did her job that well and the two finalists didn't vote for her.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, some of the questions still would have been pertaining to her. So it would have been whoever got the closest quiz to the answers for her. Okay. And then let's say they tied, it would be the person who finished the test the quickest. Okay. There was no time limit, but you needed to be fast. Me and Joy could have answered the exact same questions on the test the exact same way. But if she beat me by 2 seconds, I was the one that got eliminated. That's always the possibility.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Very interesting.
So there's no way for Kasi to win any money after all this. She's the shithole mole, and you get to just go home. Like that's
pretty much. I believe the mole got something. We just don't know what.
Okay.
I'm sure that was a paid job. I can't be sure, but it would have to be a paid job.
I mean, I would do it for free.
That is something we don't. That is something we don't know. I guess I
was surprised that never made it into the finale or anything.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like what happens.
And I know, like John threw out the idea. He was like, I think that the mole should just get any money that they kept out of the prize pot. Like that's your motivation. Yeah. Like you get the money that you kept out.
That would be awesome.
And the money you canceled, sure.
She goes to that mission where you get to write down the amount of money, and she writes just the whole pot. Hey, I just got 25 grand.
Yeah. Whatever's in there, just give me it all.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask around. I seen that question asked on Twitter, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah, we're new to the bowl, so we really didn't know. All right.
They don't tell us that. I'm just talent. They just said, "Here's your check. Go home."
Hey, there are worse
I'm just
things.
one of the stars. I'm just here. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah,
But you
they're
were
like,
in it for a long time, though. You were.
yeah, I was in all 10 episodes. I was really happy about that. Granted, episode 9, I was only in the first 5 minutes, but still counts.
It
Yeah,
does.
still
It does
counts.
count. You were still in it more than others.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right. You can stick
Top
that in
5.
your
It really rubbed me the wrong way. Still salty that I lost, but I can't be upset at how long I was there. I made it so close.
You played a great game, and you were very
Mhm.
fun to watch.
You did.
So
Yes, thank you.
This is interesting. One last little thing here. Avery said everyone was asked to be the mole. Would you have been down to do it, or did you tell them no? And was that
When
your experience?
Yes, actually, I
Okay.
believe everybody did
Interesting.
get asked when they picked the cast. They asked everybody, and I remember that conversation. They said, "Jacob, would you want to be the mole?" And I said, "I don't know. I would need to know more about their role in the game." And that was the last I heard of it. So
Wow.
it was,
Mm,
yeah. And
enough.
I didn't jump on it. I'm glad I was not the mole, because just my personality, myself, just being there and being me, made everybody suspicious of me anyways.
Right.
So a statistic that Alex gave at the reunion that I hope again gets to show content, Netflix. She said one of the statistics was the person who had the most votes in being the mole was Jacob. So I had the most votes out of
Wow.
the cast. And that's when I started to think, I'm like, yeah, I would not have been a good mole. I'm already suspicious, and nobody trusted me from the get-go.
Right.
Everybody thought I was a liar. So,
Like, thank God I wasn't.
amen. I would have
Yeah.
had to actually act a lot nicer to those people. I'm just kidding. I loved them all. No, we really did all love each other. It was a good cast.
Yeah.
Good. Do we have anything else?
I don't think so. I think that's it for me.
For the benefit of the community here.
I think that's all I got.
Okay, so we're gonna run these credits, right? And then we hit end, but you can't leave because we have to have proper goodbyes. Okay. Because some people like duck out during the credits. It's like, wait a minute, we didn't say a good goodbye. The good goodbye has to happen after the fact, once everybody else is gone.
Once we're
Yes.
off live.
Yeah, right. So thanks
Okay.
our friends for hanging out. Thank you again
Yes.
for hanging out with us. Thank you so much. This is Jacob Hacker. Any final words before we get out of here?
Thank you all so much for allowing me to be here and having the opportunity to share myself and some of my story with the world. It was these are my favorite things to do. I love connecting with people, especially fans in the community.
Oh man, thank you for spending some time with us. We kept you a long time.
Yeah.
So thanks for hanging. Those of you who are hanging out with us tonight, you can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. And yeah, that's it. We're out of here. Thanks a lot.